Oh, it's go time. Hello, the doors have shut at the back. Hi everyone, I'm Jamie, and I had the pleasure of working alongside the Rockwater games development team up in Liverpool to bring the quaint Gambit chess to life, which was the first game developed for Netflix games using Unreal Engine. Quick heads up, I was supposed to tag team this talk today, the gameplay programmer who sadly couldn't be here, so bear with me on those bits, on the proper nuts and bolts game dev side of it. But I did work throughout the project with the EP and the creative director and Netflix for the past couple of years to bring this to life, so I mostly know what I'm talking about. Just by a quick show of hands, I'd love to know a little bit more about you guys in the audience today. So hands up if you've developed a game using Unreal before. Quite a few, about half. Hands up if you've developed a mobile game before. Cool, slightly less. And then hands up if you've developed a game for mobile using Unreal before. Just me. It kind of mirrors our journey as well. So before we made the Queen's Gambit chess, we've lots of experience making games using the Unreal platform. And we've made mobile games in the past, mainly using proprietary tech, custom engines. And this was our first game using Unreal on mobile. And it was new ground for us, and I've got to say we were pretty skeptical at the start, but the results were great. So I'll talk you through all of the highs and lows and everything that we learned along the way. So I'll take you through a little bit about our partnership with Netflix, how we started working with them and how we collaborated throughout the project. And I'll share some of the insights from our development journey, especially because it's still not all that common to use Unreal on mobile. So just before I do, allow me to set the scene and introduce the game to you, just in case some of you have missed out and not played it yet. Here's the trailer.
Chess isn't always competitive. Chess can also be beautiful. It's an entire world of just 64 squares. I can control it. Dominate it. And it's predictable. Do you see it now? Or should we finish this on the board?
So hopefully that gives you a nice little sense of what the game's about, the visual style and how it ties into the IP. But let's start right at the beginning, back in 2020, to give you full context for why Rockwater made this game on mobile and why we chose Unreal. So if you cast your minds back to 2020, I'm sorry to do that because it wasn't the most pleasant year. The world was turned upside down as we found ourselves in the midst of a global pandemic. Studios, schools, and offices closed worldwide to slow down the virus, and it was a pretty scary time. To cope during the isolation and stay connected, loads of us played way too much bingo and Zoom quizzes and baked bread. We all got really good at baking bread, which was pretty cool aspects of it. But a hell of a lot of people played games, and a load of people played chess. And it was an amazing way to stay connected with friends and family. And it was also really good for Rockwater because we made Chess Ultra for PC and console, and loads of people fell in love with that game again and discovered it and picked it up. So a little bit later that year, sorry, one sec. In October, this new show pops up on Netflix and kind of sparked a moment in popular culture. Over 100 million people watched The Queen's Gambit in its first few weeks. It put chess front and center in people's imagination. Popularity went wild, chess sets sold out around the world. Loads of people picked up Chess Ultra, and we wondered how we could make the most of this moment to connect with the fans. How can we bring the Queen's Gambit and our game together? So I reached out to Netflix, dropped them an email, told them there's loads of things that I think we can do. Could we set up a call? Got some ideas to pitch you. And we had loads of cool ideas to start with, getting ready for this call that we set up. We could do community tournaments, we can do DLC, maybe we could do a VR game where you actually look up to the ceiling to work out the next best move, like Beth does in the show, like loads of cool stuff. And then on the call, I've got all 3 pitches ready to go, fully prepared to present. And right at the beginning, I asked a simple question that took us down a very different path. So while we were warming up on the call, my opening gambit was, lots of platforms say we are the Netflix of games. But what about you? You're actually Netflix. When are you going to be the Netflix of games? And to our surprise, our timing was absolutely perfect. The meeting then got sidetracked quickly by a conversation about how Netflix were still baking their game strategy. Lots of American jargon terms like that. And that they'd actually been working on a version 0.9 of a deck, all these things. And they were almost ready to start to show select partners. So being a little bit pushy as I can be, I said, can we see it? Can we see what you guys are doing for games? And they showed us. And we got a preview of this new world. And at the end of it, with our jaw on the floor, I told them that I actually don't think it's worth us pitching the ideas that we've got right now. It doesn't fit with what you've just presented and what you want to do with games on mobile and cloud. Instead, I think we could make a beautiful game in your world for mobile devices. And they said, great, we'd love to hear a pitch for that. You've got a week. So I'm super excited about that. And I turn back around to the development team and say, we've got a whole week, guys. And for the developers in the room, like, 1 week. Wow, we better get planning, we better get going. This is an amazing opportunity. So when everybody's head had stopped spinning, we got started on the concept. And the first thought was, well, let's bring the best of both of our worlds together. Everything that we're renowned for in our chess games, which Kotaku once kindly referred to as the Gran Turismo of chess, proud of that one, combined with what makes the Queen's Gambit special. The stunning locations, the charming characters, the sense of place that it gave to chess, and the joy of learning and playing chess with Beth Harmon. Let's bring all of that together and make a love letter to the Queen's Gambit. Fantastic starting point. But hang on, this is a mobile game and it's for a brand new audience on Netflix. It can't just be the Gran Turismo of chess, but in your pocket. And can we even use Unreal that we're used to using on Chess Ultra for a game that's on mobile? So there's quite a lot to think about and then talk through today. So from a design point of view, how can we capture the appeal of learning and playing chess and connect with all of the new audiences on mobile? What does it mean to be a Netflix game? How many people will be brand new to games because they're discovering games through Netflix, which was a real consideration. From an art point of view, can we achieve console quality photorealistic visuals that we've always prided ourselves on? Can we do that on mobile? How? From a tech point of view, can we still use Unreal for this project? Sure, we all know that Unreal is a Swiss Army knife for development, but it's a Swiss Army knife the size of a skyscraper, and we're trying to achieve this on mobile. How will the game run? What will we have to compromise? And then working with Netflix and the IP, what do we need to be mindful of? What are the limitations? Do they even have an SDK yet? So spoilers, we figured all of this out. And honestly, each of these points kind of deserves its own 1 hour talk, but we'll cover as much as we can today at a high level for you. So for design, we started, as all games do, with lots of creative ideas and assumptions about our audience. We knew people will want a stunning and authentic chess experience, and that's our bread and butter. And we can bring lots of the charming characters from the show to life in the game too. But what we felt everybody loved most in